Thank you. So let me start with when we talk about climate change and communities, we talk about how communities can adapt with climate change impact. As we know that communities is the front lines because of the disaster from climate change. Especially in Indonesia, 1/5 of the populations inhabit the lowland areas, which is prone to floods and also storm, also flood from the sea rising here. So that is 1/5 of population within about 30 million people. And it impacts the most vulnerable communities as well, like elderly people, children, and also women. Yeah, although not all lowland communities is impacted, but also from urban people is not immune to climate change impacts. They are also have prone to floods and tropical diseases. This is the estimations from Ministry of National Planning Agency from Bappenas. When we fail to adapt, the loss is estimatedly around 540 trillion by 2024. This is calculated from 2022. This number, so in US dollars, about 36 billion US dollar. So I really appreciate the government who has the enhanced NDC submitted to the UNCCC with more rigorous, elaborated adaptation programs. They have like 3 categories of adaptation program, from economic resilience, social resilience, and also ecosystem resilience. This is really, you know, by reading this program, we already see a lot of opportunities for us to engage with communities, with what kind of activities. Next. Again, with financing, this is the landscape of climate change financing globally done by CPI. On the blue pictures, there is where the fund come from public sectors. On the orange is more to private sectors. If we see on the right-hand slides, we can see the adaptation fund from all the mobilized funds, only 46 billion, yeah, compared to mitigations, 571 billion, which is small for adaptation. And all the adaptation sector is mostly for infrastructures, only for like water, access to water. So there is lack for communities engagement. And if we see where this fund come from, mostly are from public money. Very lack from private money. This is because twofold. One is adaptation is seen as government responsibility, not private actor responsibility. Because if we talk about climate, water access, that's government responsibility, not us. Community engagement capacity, that's government. So, and also the second aspect is this lack of revenue stream from adaptation project. So I think we're gonna hear from other speakers on how to create the revenue stream from community engagement. Yeah. And talking about financing, the Indonesia need around 170 3 trillion rupiah for adaptation actions. Again, this is the government of Indonesia will be very reliant to public sectors. So this is our, our job to collaborate as private actors to meet this financing requirement. Next slide, please. This is some of the adaptation sector projects. Yeah, this is some of the opportunities. This is taken from study from the Badan Kebijakan Fiskal, Fiscal Policy Agency, and GGI. I joined the study because that's why I quote this. Several category there's 4 sectors in marine, coastal, agriculture, health, and water. In marine coastal, there's ecotourism, which is also growing already in Indonesia, and sustainable fishing or small-scale fishing. In the picture there is when I went to Samarinda in mangrove forest, where a new fish pond created. The community cut the mangrove forest for a new fish pond. And it's not only one, like several already, many numbers of fish pond already in the mangrove forest there. And deforested the mangrove forest. And they are sometimes just, changing if the fish pond in their location fail, they just change to a new location. So it makes worse the deforestation of mangrove forest in Indonesia. So we hope that we can, work with the community, how they can make intensifications, on the existing fish pond, so they don't need to deforest it or cutting the mangrove forest to build a new fish ponds. That's just one of the example. Next. Yeah, I presented this this morning. Carbon project also provide new opportunities for community engagement. In CarbonX, we would like to, not would like, but it's a prerequisite, is required to work with communities. Because we believe that carbon project and communities engagement is interdependent. Carbon project will not successful if we don't engage with communities. So we actually need them to have a high impact and high value carbon projects. In CarbonX, we want to have the CCB. Here, CCB is climate, community, and biodiversity certifications, which is high-level communication. So we want to make sure that our project is not merely emission reductions, but also impact the community and biodiversity. Next. Ada lagi nggak slide yang lain? Before this. Yeah. So this is the typical cycle of carbon projects from project investment decisions through project design, which is project design documents, verification, implementation, until issuance. I make a font in green for where we need to engage with community in the life cycle of carbon project. At the early stage of carbon project, which is assessments and due diligence, we need to consult with community there. What is their want, their needs, if there is a carbon project there. what is condition there, whether it will be a conducive project if we have a project in that location. We need to ask questions to the communities. That what we CarbonX done. Wherever we want to assess project, investment project, we will have our field visit and ask the community representative there. And then there's a aspect below, the free prior informed consent, which is it's a bottom-up approach where we need to consult the communities again, and also there's a consent. If we want to have activities, we need to have their consent, which is we've done it through various series of consultations and documentations to provide, to ensure that the communities has consent for us to do the activities there in the area. And the project design documentations will be documents the designs, what kind of communities program that we're going to implement. Of course, during the implementation and monitoring and the verification. I mentioned in the previous presentations that the auditor will also speak to the communities on the facts that we write in the project document. Okay, next. And for CarbonX, we really want to focus on microfinanciers. We want to ensure in the project we collaborate with microfinanciers. It can be Dana Desa, Village Fund. It can be KUR, the community loan, microcredits, and then we already identify some fintech as well that we want to collaborate on the ground project. This is a study which kind of microfinanciers that is very suitable for us to collaborate. It shows that the fintech is more suitable because the penetrations to the East and Central Indonesia already quite okay, medium. They already have their investments. Well, we need to work on the interest. The interest of fintech is still very high. Next. So this is just emphasis. Because the private sector has the know-how, the financing capabilities, and because it's in the private sector's mindset that any kind of project needs to be sustainable, which has the revenue stream to be sustainable. That's why private sector involvement in community and other adaptation activities really required. And we hope that many private sector can contribute to these actions. Next. This is already explained. CarbonX our target is to implement in the next 2 years, implement carbon project in 300,000 hectares. And we hope to work with more than 200 villages and work with local communities, which 50% of them is female, and create more than 400 green jobs. Next. This is my last presentations. Again, while emission reduction is the main target, we the opportunity to realizing the community resilience also high in the mitigation action projects. And yeah, we hope that the private sectors who has the fund, the investment to contribute to such projects. That's my last presentation. Thank you again for the audience, and Listio, I'll welcome if there's a question.
Thank you, Bu Dessi. Round of applause to Bu Dessi.